interesting week this week. I did a reading for a client that ended up being all around the subject of ancestor advice. So we had an ancestor that came through, as far as, the reading was concerned, giving information and wanting to have an opinion on what was going on in her life. It was really fascinating. And I thought it would be quite fun to do a reading around the idea of ancestral advice. So uncovering messages from ancestors and embracing their support. So I thought I'd put a spread together and I would do a version for me, and you could, if you do some tarot, you can try this for yourself. It's a bit like Blue Peter. Here's one you can make at home. So what I'll do is I'll put a link to the spread in the chat, and I'll also show it on the video, and you can do this spread for yourself. It's really simple but really, really nice. So I did this spread for myself and I'll share it with you, and I was quite happy actually as to what came up. It was quite interesting. So these are the questions that I thought would be good to ask. So the first question I asked was, let me remind myself, what defines the ancestor that is offering support in this matter? Okay, so I got the Magician, which is rather good, because as we know in tarot, the Magician is the card of manifestation. It's the card of mastery of energy and making what you want to make happen. So whatever this ancestor is, they look to me to be pretty proactive and also very encouraging. It's a very powerful card. It's awesome. So when we look at the Magician, we're looking at ways in which we can take control of our lives in some way, ways in which we can conjure up the outcome that we want moving forward, making what we want to happen. And that's an area that I'm extremely interested in, the idea of energy, the idea of manifestation, and how we can get in energetic alignment with the goals that we most want to bring about in our lives. So the fact that I've got this coming up as part of an ancestral piece of advice, or an ancestor that is showing up in that energy, is actually quite awesome. So the Magician. Okay, so the next question I asked, what do they stand for energetically? And I drew the Seven of Wands. Now the Seven of Wands is where we're kind of fighting the odds. If we look at the card, we can see that the Knight on the card is the odds are pretty much stacked against him, and perhaps he's feeling on the back foot. He's not feeling like, he's in complete control of the situation. If we think about the suit of wands and how the suit of wands works, it's all about energy. It's all about desire. It's all about confidence. It's all about creative energy. And as we can see, if we look at the six, we can see we've been successful, we've been victorious, but now we're having to fight for it, right? Because perhaps we want to push back, or in some way we want to make things happen, and we're having to really fight our corner and defend our position. So the odds are stacked against, and this ancestor is standing for defying the odds. Defend your position, like don't give in. That's the energy they're standing for. Don't give in, right? Fight for what you want. Stand your ground. So it's quite powerful stuff. Whoever this is, they're no shrinking violet, that's for sure. So the next question I asked is, what area of my life is their message referring to? And Well, I mean, I guess it's no surprise. I got the High Priestess. So the High Priestess, as we know in tarot, is all about our intuitive self. It is our internal world. It is our connection to the energetic world. It is our own internal wisdom born of the light and the dark of us. So it is how we work energetically. The High Priestess is the keeper of your secrets. She's the keeper of all of your wisdom and all that is going on inside of you, subconscious and conscious. She's everything that is inside of you. So this is referring to my internal world and my connection to spirit and the way I'm working. So it's a really lovely and very, very appropriate message for me. So it had my interest. It was okay. So this is really on point. Okay. So what's the next question? The next question is, what is their guidance to me? And their guidance, made my day, is the Nine of Cups. In tarot, the Nine of Cups is the wish card, and as we can see, there is a genie on the card that said your wish is granted. So what they're telling me is, what's your wish? Your guidance is, make your wish clear. Know your wish, and you can make it happen, right? The ancestor is offering support in the area of the magician. They are standing as the magician. So they're saying that whatever your wish is, you can make it happen. So, but in order for that to happen, you have to know what your wish is. I mean, we've all heard the adage, be careful what you wish for, right? But also, if your wish is not clear and the why of your wish is not clear, why do you want this thing? Then that's when our energetic work can go a bit awry. So this is it's very strong advice. Energetically, it's absolutely on point. Great, the Nine of Cups. Wish for what you want and you can make it happen. That's great. Even if the odds are stacked against you, that's what this ancestor stands for. Wow, strong stuff. That's great. So I asked two more questions. One was, so what would they like to warn me against? So obviously we have their guidance, but what would they like to warn me against? And we have the Four of Cups. Now the Four of Cups, again, talks about an energetic connection of some sort. And as we can see on the card, the figure on the Four of Cups is not particularly happy with what's going on in their world. They're feeling a bit like, and there is a message for them, or there is an opportunity for them which is available that they're not looking at because they can't feel it. And that's the trouble with the Four of Cups. They can't feel what's around them. So they're warning me against not listening, right? I think at its core, if we look at the rest of the reading, what they're saying to me is they warn me against not listening, or perhaps not being open to opportunities that I would discount, or that I'm not paying attention to in some way. So I must be careful to listen, right? Absolutely. Okay. So the last question I asked, in what way do they want to support me? And I got to tell you, it's the most perfect card. It's the Queen of Wands. And the Queen of Wands is confidence and authenticity. It is embodying the energy of the Wands suit. And when we embody the energy of something, we take it within us and we work and live from that perspective. Now, as we've said, Wands in tarot talk about creative energy. It talks about confidence. It talks about desire. It talks about making what we want to make happen, which is in perfect alignment with the rest of this reading. Because whenever you do a reading, you must always look back at the other cards and see that they all work together and support each other. We never read cards in isolation. We always read a reading as a whole piece of communication. It would be like having a conversation and taking each word in isolation, right? It drives me crazy when people read like that, especially when people teach that. Right? We never read cards in isolation. We always read them, unless we're doing a one card reading. But, if we're doing a spread of any sort, we must always look at the overall message. And the Queen of Wands is absolutely perfect for this message. The Magician is all about manifestation and the overall mastery of energy, isn't it? The Seven of Wands is defend your position on what you want. Don't back down. You can beat the odds. Whatever it is you want, you can beat the odds. Oh, that's rather lovely, isn't it? The High Priestess. Make sure that your connection to spirit and your connection to your intuitive world, your connection to guides and those that are helping, make sure that's in place. Look at the warning, the Four of Cups. Make sure you listen. There is a warning against you not listening. Interesting. And again, what do you wish for? Now, the Queen of Wands is defined for me by two words, confidence and authenticity. And authenticity is absolutely fundamentally important when it comes to the High Priestess. Because the High Priestess is you, it's what's inside you, it's your internal world. And to manifest properly, you have to be authentic. You have to be working with the whole of you, not with bits which you're trying to hide or push away. It's about proper incorporation of everything about you so that you are an energetic machine. So, the way they want to support me is for me to be authentic, for me to live in a life which is authentic to me and creative. And what do you want? They said. You can do it. Now that's a really lovely reading, and I'm very grateful and happy for that reading. Why don't you try one for you? Because that was very affirming to me. Let's have a look. Why don't you see what your ancestors have got to say to you, and share it in the comments below? And I'm very happy to comment and to have a look at what your messages are as well. I hope they're as useful as that is for me. So I hope you've enjoyed this. I really enjoyed doing it. I'll share more readings with you as the weeks go on. This is a great one for you to try if you're beginning your journey with tarot, or perhaps exploring tarot. Let's have a look. Anyway, I will say goodbye. I will see you soon. Please like and subscribe to the channel if you enjoy this content. And I'm always here for a reading if you need one. And in the meantime, I'll say goodbye and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.